Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us and welcome to our first ever Virtual Sports Awards. Like many things during the pandemic, we've decided to move our annual event this year online. For those of you who've never been part of Sports Awards before, it's one of the biggest events in our sporting calendar. And although COVID-19 drew the sporting season short, we still want to celebrate the achievements of everything that's been done so far this year. I would also like to add, prior to this evening, a massive thank you to all the sportsmen and women who have given so much on social media with regards to nomination videos. It was great to see the interaction on Twitter and Instagram, and to have over 200 votes on the Senior Sportsman of the Year shows that there was quite a lot of hype and a lot of interest and why we've decided to do the Sports Awards like we have. Throughout this evening's ceremony, you will hear a review of the main sports played, as well as the prize given of the main awards to students. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank every student who's engaged with school sport this year, whether it's simply taking part in PE or representing the school every week on the field. Unfortunately, we've had to streamline our sports awards this evening to hopefully make it more enjoyable for you at home. But this does mean we've not been able to give out half as many awards as we normally would, and the live prize giving that you will see shortly is focused on the main awards. However, this does not discourage away from everyone's efforts throughout the year, and although we're only awarding individuals tonight, there's actually hundreds of students that we know have taken part and given so much to the sport this year. You will shortly be to hear the review of each sport as we share the highlights and success stories of each team in rugby, netball and football. Well done to everyone who receives a nomination. This is a success in itself. And if you are named as manager's player or player's player for a chosen sport, there's a trophy waiting for you and it will be awarded to you once you're back in school in September. Coronavirus has obviously had a significant impact on everyone's lives, and over the last 4 months we know students, parents and staff have had their own personal struggles with what the pandemic has caused. As a school, we are so proud of the efforts and attitude of all the students to engage with virtual learning, and from a PE perspective, it has been absolutely brilliant to see so many students engage with physical activity and keeping themselves active during the lockdown. We hope that tonight's ceremony will hopefully put a smile on your face, but more importantly, bring our school community back together, although virtually online and everyone at home. But once again, in some shape or form, this will allow us to celebrate our students' success and really finish the year on a high. Okay, so the rugby review for 2019-20. We're going to start with Year 7 rugby. The Year 7 rugby, first of all, their first season couldn't have got off to a better start. They were up for Team of the Year. More detail of the review from Mr. Hart will follow this. Okay. However, there was so much potential in this particular group. The squad has some genuine athleticism and raw talent, and we are so excited to see where they can take their rugby over the coming years. Also very pleasing is the sheer volume of students who've engaged with rugby and got involved with it for the first time ever since joining the school. The nominations from Year 7 are Emmanuel Dramola, Harry Dawson, Lewis Price, Rodri Edwards and Kudzi Biller. So the Player's Player Award goes to Harry Dawson, and the Manager's Player, who as he's never played rugby before and is a genuine athlete and has scored a remarkable 15 tries in 13 games, goes to Emmanuel Dramola. Year 8 rugby. Another tricky year for the Year 8 rugby team in terms of results, but their effort and commitment cannot be faulted. Mr. Hart has never struggled to fill a team sheet for Saturdays, and despite some of the results, each game the boys were determined to do their best. One of the highlights was the win over Colstons, which saw a large celebration as they scored 10 tries in total. Elliot Hanley was brilliant at the breakdown all season and was able to turn defence into attack with ease. Tom Hayes kept the side together on many occasions, and Emmanuel scored some brilliant tries, and Sam Manners on his day was simply outstanding. Jack Mitten was always Mr. Consistent and became a really effective leader when called upon, and I do believe, Mr. Hart believes, that next year, if the spirit of the team remains, some of the results will come their way. So the nominations for Year 8 rugby are Jack Mitten, Tom Hayes, Emmanuel Ogbaid, Sam Reynolds and Elliot Hanley. The Player's Player goes to Elliot Hanley, well done, and the Manager's Player for his Mr. Consistent is Jack Mitten, well done. Year 9 rugby review from Mr. Atkinson. Mr. Atkinson comments, it was an absolute pleasure for my first coach experience to be with such a talented and tight-knit group of boys. For my very first session, I knew the boys were going to play some outstanding rugby and develop very quickly into an outstanding team. The particular highlights for the A team include the comeback against Bishop VCs and the dominant dismantling of Tommy's. For the Bees, an unbeaten season nominated for Team of the Year again, and again as before, more information will follow. This group of 30 to 40 players have all developed hugely over the year and due to their commitment and their love of the game. And I wish them nothing but all the best for the future and look forward to seeing many of them go on and represent the first 15 in years to come. Finally, I'd like to shout out to the 5 boys up for the awards, as you were all absolutely outstanding from start to finish. And if I had it my way, you would all have winners, for all have won the awards. Miss Atkinson, over and out. So, the nominations for Year 9 Rugby are Zach Mountford, Ollie Wortman, Jamie Manley, Sam Powell and Kai Pearson. The player's player goes to Zach Mountford, and the manager's player for his outstanding commitment and workhorse mentality is Sam Powell. Well done. Year 10 Rugby. So, as you know, Year 10 are also up for Team of the Year, so more information about them will follow. However, they did continue their impressive cup run from Year 9 international competition to reach the quarterfinals of the NatWest Cup. However, as a group, they also continue to buy into everything that we want with regards to student-led rugby, and we cannot wait to see them progress into senior rugby next year. The nominations for Year 10 Rugby are Freddie Parry, Cam Blacksil, Ed Wallen, Wyatt Dundas and Johnny Fenley. The player's player nomination actually is a tie, so both of these will receive trophies in September. So that's Freddie Parry and Cam Blacksil, well done. And then the manager's player is Johnny Fenley, a late developer and someone who did not feature in the A team until the end of Year 9, and he's now secured a starting place in the national quarterfinal team. A true athlete, and again, we cannot wait to see what he does next year. Finally, with regards to rugby, is the Senior Rugby Review. Off the back of a successful South African rugby tour last summer, and as a predominantly Year 13 starting 15, expectations were even higher going into this year. The season could not have got off to a better start, with dominant performances against Pates and KA Stratford. However, drawing against St Peter's under the lights at China Rugby Club started to unravel things slightly. It was a game they should have easily won, and then from there, the performance did drop. A tougher second half of the term saw them losing to QH and Tommy's in battling displays. And although it was a disappointing end to the season, an enjoyable win in horrendous conditions against Cothorpe drew an end to so many Year 13's rugby at Crypt. We cannot thank all those leavers enough who have given so much to the school shirt over the 7 years. So the nominations for senior rugby are Charles Cook, Blessing Masloko, Sam Collins, Sam Higgs and James Loader. The Player's Player Award goes to Blessing Masloko, and the manager's player is Shags. I cannot tie between these two students who've given so much, and that's Sam Higgs and Sam Collins. Well done.
The next award this evening is the Junior Sportswoman of the Year Award. Coming from a year group of the most athletically gifted 40 female students that I believe any school will ever see, this award is a particularly hard one to place. There is nothing that this year group of students cannot do, and the student that has been selected for this award this evening is no exception. Her commitment to crit sport and life at the school in general is exceptional. This student has an invasion game brain and is beyond her years when it comes to reading any sport, whether it be handball, basketball, football or netball. She is also a very talented endurance athlete that has proven herself to be a serious competitor in the local area. Her eagerness to improve inside of school and outside has enabled her to progress, and she has once again been selected to play at a very high level in her favoured sport. This student is an absolute pleasure to teach and to coach. She will continue to thrive at this school, and I hope her drive to be a sporting success continues while she is here. We are very proud to present this award to this student who is doing her bit for female sport, and I hope that she will be, along with the rest of her year group, a great sporting role model for younger female students. So over to Miss Leet to present this award.
Well, this one took us a while, didn't it, Canton? Did. Anyway, up next, Junior Sportswoman. Let's go! I just said can she said no. Yay! Congratulations, you are our Junior Sportswoman of the Year. How are you feeling?
Surprise!
Can you tell me your sporting moment from this year?
Probably the Reading tournament when we won in
Great
the
memory.
final area. Road to Wembley.
Great memory. Fantastic work. You were superb this year and it's thoroughly deserved. Can you tell me though, what was your favourite packet of crisps?
Cheese and onion.
Great work, Eva. Well done.
Good job, Eva.
Okay, so now the Junior Sportsman of the Year. The Year 9s are such a talented year group, we could have had 7 or 8 nominations for this award. Students like Seb Pascoe and Zach Kennedy can feel very hard done by for not making the shortlist. However, the 4 students who have been nominated have all given so much across a huge range of sports. We have Sam Powell, who's reached the national cross-country finals whilst being one of the standout rugby performers. Ollie Workman, Jamie Manley and Zach Mumford have all been vital to the rugby and football team's successes. All of them would be worthy winners of this award, but unfortunately we can only name one. Before heading live to Mr Atkinson to award this award, the winner of this is one of the most talented all-rounders we have seen at the school. He was top try scorer for the rugby team by a country mile, and it would have been interesting to see if he could have come close to any school records in athletics this summer, maybe next year. His attitude and work ethic in all areas of PE and sport is exceptional. He has a standout performer within the Sports Academy, and we are excited to see him fulfil his potential over the coming years. So, Mr Atkinson, over to you.
Hello everyone, we've just made it to Lydney, lovely area of the world, after a 7-hour trek from Ross and Wye, 3-legged sheep and a 2-legged dog. Let's go. Wait, what's he want? Junior sportsman? Junior sportsman. People are like shaking and shuffling or something. Zach Malcolm, give me a fake handshake. Give me a fake handshake. You are the Junior Sportsman of the Year. How do you feel?
Really pleased.
Any other thoughts?
Excited.
You're just excited. As a, I haven't never won this award myself, so can you just give me a few words about how it feels?
It feels amazing.
Amazing. Is there anyone you want to thank in the school in particular?
Just all the PE stuff.
Well done, guys. We've drove a long way to get here, and it's a pleasure to see you. What have you been doing in lockdown?
School.
School.
A lot, yeah.
Respect that. Any other activities apart from school?
Sports and music.
Music, like that. What do you play?
A guitar.
Guitar. Maybe one day you can give me a little rendition.
Maybe.
Agreed. Thank you.
Zach Mountford. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. You are the winner, but just remember, you might be the winner, but always remember who the daddy really is.
I think this is it. It's the summit. Who's the daddy? Who's the daddy? Who is the daddy? I'll tell you who the daddy is. I'm the daddy. I am the daddy. I just got salt in my mouth. I'm the daddy. I'm the daddy.
Time for the Netball Awards. So I'm just going to give you a review of the year. It's been another great season of netball for the girls, and although it was cut very short, we really have achieved some fantastic results. Monday evenings are my favourite sport evenings. Each week we see 6 teams across 2 year groups come out and play some top quality netball. We have been very unlucky with Monday evening weather this year, but regardless, the girls turn up and are keen to learn. We have, however, been lucky once again to have so many amazing adults that are willing to give up their time out of the goodness of their hearts and help coach our students. Erica Williams has been a tremendous help coaching our 7Bs, and I'm very thankful to her. We'd love to have your excellent knowledge with us again next year if we can, Erica. Thank you very much. Steph Williams, once again, has been a superstar coach, umpire, and first aider at times. Thank you so much for everything you do. The girls and I are very lucky to have you, and we also hope that you will be back with us next year. Senior netball has also been great fun this year. With more students than ever before wanting to play, we have had a really successful season. The added bonus has also been the opportunity of playing against some competitive opposition on our beautiful new courts. Being able to almost always take 2 teams away during such a challenging educational time has been a real honour, and it has been down to their organisation and their commitment. I am hoping that senior netball continues to grow with the introduction of the 7 Stars Nova Centre at the Crypt next year. This is something that I am really passionate about, and I look forward to coaching this next year based at the school. I'm hoping that I'm able to involve many students, and our talented students at that, in this programme over the coming years. So firstly, to look over the Year 7 netball, we're going to go through players player, managers player, and then on to the final review and speech. So for players player this year, this student has been voted by her peers, and this student thoroughly deserves this award. She is determined, kind, very funny, and a great team player. She is an excellent captain when given the opportunity to do so, and also a very strong defensive player. Her skills are improving weekly, and I'm sure that she'll be a strong member of her team during her time at Crypt for the rest of her years here. So players player this year, and very well deserved, goes to Fern Miller. Well done, Fern. Next is on to managers player. So this is voted for by me. And this student had an excellent attitude when representing the school, and her commitment to training was also an asset to the team. She is keen to give everything her best and has been a brilliantly adaptable wing attack and goal attack. This student has also taken the opportunity to captain the team in her stride and will be a great role model to next year's Year 7 students. So this year's managers player for Year 7 goes to Kate Phillips. Well done, Kate. Congratulations. And just an overview of Year 7 netball. The Year 7 girls have had a lot to live up to following the previous success of the Year 8 peers. The season started with a wobble, while the girls became familiar with the game, some coming from high-five netball settings. Once the 7-a-side game was understood and the fundamentals developed, the talented group of girls quickly became a force to be reckoned with against local schools. A particularly fond memory of mine being the A-team's 14-2 victory against Stroud High, and that was a really, really great experience for all involved. Their grit and determination to improve has been a real credit to the progress that they have made. Whatever the weather, the girls were out in it, eager to train. They have been a real pleasure to work with, and I am very adamant that they will continue to flourish as a great side over the coming years. I also hope that we will have the opportunity to put the girls forward for satellite netball trials this year. A great start to your time at Crypt, Year 7 girls. Well done, keep it up. Next we move on to the Year 8 Netball Awards. I'll give a brief overview first. So the Year 8 netball team remained undefeated against Gloucestershire schools in their age group. All 3 teams have clean sheets this year, with some impressively large victories. The C team have had 4 strong games against local B team sides, and they are yet to lose this season. As the A team move from strength to strength, the B team are closely following behind, and are still to this day the best B team that I have ever seen. With a 22-0 victory against St Peters and a 20-5 win against KLB, the girls have not disappointed. The A team were entered into a early under-14 netball tournament, and they were playing against some really well-established sides in the local area. The girls really held their own, winning half of their games, once again proving how spectacular they are as a group of athletes. I'm extremely impressed with their ongoing commitment to training and fixtures. They are a brilliant group of students and incredible role models to their Year 7 peers. So moving on to players player, this is a well-deserved winner for this season. Her ability to listen to feedback and apply it to the court is excellent. As a student, she is very conscientious, and this attitude has most definitely carried across into her passion for sport. Her commitment to extracurricular sport has been one of the best in her year this year, and she keeps getting better. I am very proud of her commitment to club and satellite netball, and I'm very excited to see how great she will be in the future, and I'm hoping she's going to be part of the 7 Stars programme. So our Players Player this year goes to Kiara Dixon. Well done, Kiara. Kiara, very well deserved. Next one, for Managers Player. So I was not able to choose one student for this award without not selecting the other, because it wouldn't be fair and it wouldn't do them any justice. These 2 students are the best teammates their peers could ask for. They are selfless, they work hard, and they've been a brilliant pair of captains this year. They are able to play multiple positions and do so without moaning at all. Again, their commitment to training has been exceptional, and their willingness to help other people has not gone unnoticed. Congratulations to these 2 students who are leading a brilliant team, and good luck for next year. So my Managers Players this year go to Willow Armstrong and Laurie Hill. Well done, girls, thoroughly deserved. Finally, moving on to Senior Netball. So another enjoyable year with our senior netballers, who have certainly improved this year. A lower number of Year 12s, but the willing ones were excellent and added a lot to their team. With 3 wins and 3 losses on the score sheet, the girls should be proud this year, and I'm certainly impressed with how many of them have been committed during their examination period. And this is from 2 teams, so both the A team and the B team. Particular highlights this year include the 13-6 win against St Peter's, the soaking wet game against Pates, which is always a fun one, and our weird and wonderful Wednesday enrichment training sessions, which are quite unusual, but they're good fun, and I think we're getting a lot out of them at the moment. I'm really excited to push more senior netball next year, but I'm sad that the lovely Year 13s will be leaving us. Good luck next year, girls, and keep playing netball in the future. I've enjoyed coaching this team, and I hope they can make a really good start to next season as well. So Players Player, as voted for by your teammates, has invested time and energy into Crypt sport whilst being here for 2 years. She is a very versatile player that has adapted well this year and has surprised us all with her shooting skills. Having sprained her ankle quite badly this year, this student was unfazed and was keen to get back to the netball court as soon as possible. Congratulations to Ree Hagroff for being selected as Players Player this year, and well done for receiving this award. Managers Players. Again, I've chosen 2 because I couldn't choose one without the other. They have been instrumental in the success of A team this year, never missing an enrichment session or a game either. They do enjoy a McFlurry after their game, but I do think that is a worthy response to their playing. They have been really helpful in organising squads and certainly bring their own unique comedy value to the netball court. They will be sorely missed, and I really do wish them luck in the future. So Managers Players go to Becca Day and to Mia Wilden. Well done, girls, congratulations.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Now for the Senior Sportswoman of the Year. This student has devoted herself wholeheartedly to life at Crypt. Not only is she incredibly talented academically, she's also a keen sportswoman that is willing to have a good go at everything and anything. Her dedication not only to her own progress but also to the development of younger students has not gone unnoticed. On a weekly basis, she has given up her free time to assist teachers coaching Year 7 and Year 8 students in football. She is patient, helpful, knowledgeable, and above all, a fabulous role model. On top of this, she has not missed a netball game. She is very competitive and brings her determined attitude to the court. I'm very sad to see her go, along with her Year 13 peers. They have contributed to a lot of energy in the PE department. Now over to Miss Canton, who will present the award. Thank you, Miss Leask. We're in a new destination. We are now going to be presenting our Senior Sportswoman of the Year. Very excited. Come with. Come on. Let's hope she's in.
2020. How does it feel?
Surprising.
Have you had a good lockdown so far?
Yeah,
Playing sports?
ish, yeah. Football in like an hour, so.
Fantastic. So here's your trophy.
Thank you very much.
Do you have anyone to thank for receiving this award today?
You
Other
too.
than me?
Pretty much a duty, really.
Pretty much dusty. And are you going to be watching the virtual sports awards on Thursday to see this beautiful clip as well? Fantastic. One more big clap for Hannah Hughes, Senior Sportsman of the Year, our second one ever. Well done,
Thank you
babe.
very much.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
Okay, now for the Senior Sportsman Award. Over the years, this has become the award that senior boys really want. Always a difficult decision to make, as it reflects the efforts and commitment of the students over the last 7 years, not just the last 12 months. All of the nominations have given so much to Crypt sport over the years, and it has been an absolute pleasure for the Crypt PE staff to work with these young men on a weekly basis. Henry Anstey has been our go-to man if you're ever short of a cricketer, goalkeeper, or even a swimmer, willing to just play any sport to get out of lessons, and has literally never said no to committing to the department and everything on offer. Sam Collins and Sam Higgs have both been an absolute joy to work with. They have both grown into outstanding rugby players and lead the first 15 backline superbly between them. Over the years, they've both earned their Centurion tie with ease, and it goes without saying how much they will be missed in September. Ollie Clark, one of the more mature members of the senior rugby squad. Ollie has led by example and fully bought into everything that we have tried to do with regards to raising the bar with senior sport. He is a genuine Cryptian and will be sorely missed. So before we hand over to Mr. Borden to present the award, the winner started off his time at Crypt, never playing rugby before. He played B-team rugby in year 7 and 8 and progressed into the year 9 A team, who won the County Cup at Kingsholm. He's now leaving the school as co-captain of the first 15 and was one of the main reasons why the tour to South Africa was so successful. So, Mr. Borden, over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Windsor. So if you recognise this road, we've got some traffic lights and a nice bridge down there. And then, so this is the road of the house of our first award. So come with me. See who's in. Ollie Clark, Senior Sportsman of the Year. Congratulations.
Really, thank you, sir.
There we go, there's your trophy. Socially distant and all that. How does it feel?
Feels great.
Feels good.
Thank everyone.
Thank everyone. What was your highlight of Crypt School?
Tour to South Africa.
Tour to South Africa. Is there anyone you'd like to thank on this magnificent achievement?
Everyone who played with me.
Everyone's playing with us.
Sorry, mate.
Lovely. Congratulations, you are Senior Sportsman of the Year. Well done.
Cheers, sir. Thank you.
Well done.
Stop believing.
Okay, now over to the football review. Well done for all the nominations. If you did win Manager's Player or Player's Player, you will receive a trophy in September. So well done if you won those awards. So starting off with girls football, the girls football team expanded their squad this year with some addition of some really talented Year 7 girls. They've had an outstanding season and achieved so much in such a short period. They are up for Team of the Year, and more information will be given about their success later on in the award ceremony. The nominations for Player's Player and Manager Player are B. Norwood, Sophia Nucleus, Eva Flitney, Martha Campbell, Bridget Blackstone and Thea Gooch. For Player's Player, this player is an extremely talented footballer. Her understanding of the game is well beyond her years. Her work ethic is outstanding. She always listens to feedback and encourages her peers throughout training and matches. Player's Player goes to B. Norwood. Well done, B. Manager's Player, for her excellent development, willingness to learn and positive attitude, this student has been an integral member of the football squad. She's one of the key players that's helped us to be so successful. So Manager's Player goes to Bridget Blackstone. She's a fantastic goalkeeper who continues to improve each year and has made some incredible saves this season. Now over to Year 8 boys football by Mr. Carolan. This was his review. Despite the short season, this was an enjoyable start with a very keen squad, and although we only managed to play 3 matches and lost 3, the boys remained competitive in each of their games. Even in the short time, many individuals will have grown in confidence, and I'm sure the team will be looking forward to resuming competitive sports in their new school term. Well done to all the players who represented the school this year. Nominations: Woody Vinton, Ben O'Neill, Dan O'Neill, Jack Mitten, Charlie Woodward, Max Beeson. And Players Player goes joint to Dan and Ben O'Neill. Well done, boys. Managers Player for his excellent attitude and commitment to the season. This goes to Mac Beeson. Well done. Now over to Year 9 boys, and this was run by Mr. Higgs. We had a frustratingly short season this year, with several fixtures cancelled due to poor weather. However, we were still able to have a lot of fun as a team and showed a great attitude throughout. Losing our first fixture to Churchdown was informative, as it showed we needed to compete and be more competitive throughout the pitch. After this result, we were unbeaten for the rest of the season, with 2 standout performances against Tommies and Pace. However, my highlight was a 3-3 draw against KLB, having been 3-0 down at half-time, again showing the determination and team spirit needed for continued footballing success next season. Nominations: Zach Mountford, Noah Freckleton, Luke Webster, Ivan Adenev, Evan Coombs. Players Player: Zach Mountford. Well done, Zach. And Managers Player: for venturing out of the net, remodelling himself for a sturdy centre half and showing a great attitude in games and training. This award goes to Evan Coombs. Well done. So Year 10 boys football by Mr. Hart. As it played out this year, we did not play that many fixtures. It was good to have a big squad to pick up, even having a B-team fixture against Pates. The opposition in this year's group was very strong, and although we failed to make the final, we pushed every team very close. Our defence is very strong, and we have a good midfield, but possibly missed the creative side from Dan Roddis, who was sadly injured for most of the season. This meant that players like Harry Furness had to step up and play a more pivotal role, which he did superbly. So the nominations: Rory Davis, James Batchelor, Ollie Dove, Harry Furness, Dylan Coping. And Players Player went to Harry Furness. Well done, Harry. Managers Player goes to Rory Davis. Rory Davis never missed a training session and was close to Players Player, but at times he kept us in games that we should not have been in, with his superb shot-stopping capabilities. I enjoyed coaching this team, and I hope they can make the final next season. And finally, on to our senior football team, which was coached by Mr. Higgs. Mr. Higgs? Mr. Hill. The first team football this year has been extremely enjoyable. The boys only lost 1 game, drew 1, and won an impressive 7 times, including a dominant 8-2 win away to the Cotswolds. We try to play football the right way, but also teach the players that if you can't pass the ball, then at the very least be hard to beat. More impressive than the results was the newfound attitude of the players involved. The team turned up to every training session, every team meeting, and as a result have become exceptional young footballers ready to move into the adult game. A special mention for Bradley Bevan, who, although didn't win an award, deserves a big shout out for finishing top goal scorer. Well done, Brad, and well done, boys. A great season. So, nominations: Brad Bevan, Ethan Ravenhill, Luke Richards, James Stubbs, Monty New, and Josh Timothy. I'm going to change this one up a little bit and go with Managers Players first. Managers Player. A difficult decision this year, but ultimately this lad was the engine room from start to finish. His tenacious attitude and never say die work rate made him the coach's dream. Players like this don't go unnoticed on the football pitch, not this year. Well done to Josh Timothy. Secondly, Players Player. Players Player has gone to Luke Richards. Well done, Luke Richards. As a reflection of the Players Player Award, he scored an absolute worldie, so have a look at this for a goal.
Last time I came out was with the netball stuff.
What, then, yeah, the arenas, yeah, the larger more in there. This is
Okay, now time for Team Player of the Year. This award is for the student who has represented the school the most within the academic year. The award goes alongside the 100 Club as our recognition for students who commit so much to representing the school in competitive sport. The nominations are Sophia Neocleus, Year 8, Jack Mitten, Year 8, Alejandro Achiaga Egbon, Year 10, Brad Bevan, Year 12, Eva Flitney, Year 8. All of the nominees have done remarkably well with only 5 caps separating them, with the winners representing the school 26 times this year. I'd now like to hand over to Mr. Borden and Miss Leask to present the award.
For the Team Player of the Year, as already mentioned, this award is for the guys who've had the most caps representing the school the most. So if you recognise this street, nice bit of bush over here.
Lovely bit of bush.
So yeah, come with me. It's a bit awkward for the answer, isn't it? Hey! Here he is. Congratulations. Did you just wake you up, or no? Play FIFA? Yeah. Congratulations. You are Team Player of the Year. Were you aware you played 26 times for the school this year?
No.
No? Well, you have 26 times. All right, so you're joint Team Player of the Year. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thank you. Love it.
I need the glass one back, so you're sharing it with Saf. Hey! Here he is. Congratulations. Did you just wake you up, or no? Play FIFA? Yeah. Congratulations. You are Team Player of the Year. Were you aware you played 26 times for the school this year?
No.
No? Well, you have 26 times. All right, so you're joint Team Player of the Year. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thank you.
We're here with the Team Player of the Year. Anyone recognise this road? Recognise the bush? I don't know. Let's go. Come on. Oh. Is it this one? Oh, number 1. Good, yeah? Give me a sporting highlight from this year. Anything?
Probably the route to Wembley.
Love that. What's your favourite sport? Let me know. You've represented a lot this year. A lot of sports. Tell me your favourite sports.
Football.
Hear that, Miss Canton, is football. Fantastic. Do you know, Saf, you have represented the school 26 times this year. Did you know that? No. What a fantastic achievement, everybody. Give her a round of applause.
The PE Awards are dedicated to those students who have clearly gone above and beyond during lockdown. There were so many students to choose from this time, and we have been overwhelmed with their commitment to learning and staying fit whilst at home. Over the weeks, a few of the challenges that we have set them include running challenges, ab workouts, Mr. Hart's Oregon, cardio boxing challenges, and gruelling pyramid tasks, and they have taken them all in their strides. The following students have particularly impressed us, sending frequent updates of their progress, and we hope they continue to work hard in PE next year. So the following students have been nominated for this award: including George Edgeworth, Alan Lee, Lizzie Trenoboa, Sam Reynolds, Arnie Bannergoban, Jolie Roberts, Joe Brown and Liam Herridge. Well done to those students.
You put the boom boom into my heart. You send my soul sky high when you love him.
Okay, so we are now moving on to the Team of the Year nominations. The Team of the Year is always one of the most prestigious awards, more so because it reflects a collective effort of a group rather than individuals. The Team of the Year also, as we like to think in the P department, reflects Coach of the Year, and there is certainly rivalry between the department for their own teams that they feel so strongly about. So I'd like to now hand over to each coach or each teacher to say a little bit about each team that are up for this award.
Year 7, Rugby. Brilliant. Team of the Year for me, obviously because I coached you, but first games, absolutely smashed it against all of our opposition. Massive amount of tries. Some games shouldn't have even finished because we got 10 tries against them. Difficult against QEH and Colstons. Came back brilliantly to draw those games. Smashed Tommies. Smashed Pates. Unbeaten, incredible talent in this year group. If they're not Team of the Year, I don't know. Good luck, boys.
I am delighted to announce that the combined Year 7 and 8 girls football team have been nominated for Team of the Year. Here's some of the reasons why I think they should win. They've had an incredible season and already achieved so much in such a short period of time. Despite there only being a small number of girls in both Year 7 and Year 8, these girls are incredibly talented and incredibly hardworking. This season, we entered into the English Schools Football Association national competition and faced many schools from around Gloucester and also across the country. The girls made it into the final 16 nationally, but unfortunately lost 4-2 to Priory School, who had previously won that competition. The game was really competitive and both teams were battling hard. The girls demonstrated fantastic teamwork, work ethic and determination throughout. To make it to the final 16 nationally is a huge achievement, but I think what we achieved this season was even greater than that. With already that big achievement under our belts, our focus then went on to the Road to Wembley competition. So 8 girls were selected to play in a 6-a-side tournament. The competition had 3 stages: a county tournament, area finals and regional finals. The winner of the regional finals would then get to play against would then represent the South and play against the North at Wembley. The girls flew through the county tournament and beat their previous second place from last year. We then were incredibly excited to head to Reading to play in the area tournament where we represented Cheltenham Town. The girls were impressive throughout, supporting each other, tracking back and working hard to that final whistle. We knew early on we had a chance of winning this and going through to the regional round, but it was penalties that were to decide our fate. We were really lucky to have such an amazing goalkeeper between the sticks. Bridget Blackstone, who has quite literally saved us on many occasions. So the final tournament, that regional round, was held at Swindon and the winners would then go on to play at Wembley. The girls were strong throughout and won all their matches, being Plymouth Argyle 2-0, Wycombe Wanderers 2-0 and Leyton Orient 5-1. We saw Wembley in our sights, having won all of our matches, but despite this, we had to play second place Plymouth Argyle in a final. The final was a brilliant display of football, showcasing a lot of talent from both sides. Plymouth Argyle went 1-0 up, but B. Norwood scored an outstanding goal in the final 2 minutes to make it 1-1. It was then through to extra time and Sophia Nucleus tested the goalkeeper, but was unfortunate not to score. 1 minute of extra time left and Plymouth Argyle looked like they were about to score, but again it was Bridget Blackstone who pulled off the save of the tournament. It then went on to penalties to decide who got to play at Wembley. Obviously, having previously won all our matches and beaten this team before, we were really confident. We were confident with our penalty takers. We were confident having Bridget in goal. Unfortunately, with how penalties goes, it wasn't our time. We lost 2-1. It seems the cruelest of ways to go out despite being unbeaten. But these girls have done themselves, the school and the school incredibly proud. They've listened, they've developed, they've played outstandingly throughout the whole season. They're an amazing group of girls who show nothing but energy, determination, dedication and demonstrate a passion for football. They've created a legacy for future Crypt girls and they should all be extremely proud. I know our sights are set on now trying to finish or win that ESFA competition and head to Wembley for next season. And I'm sure with an addition of some new members of the squad and some continued training, we'll definitely manage to get there. Special thank you has to go though to Chris Gooch, who worked extremely hard with the girls. Thank you to all the girls who attended lunchtime training, classroom sessions and after school training. What you have achieved this year is amazing and we are so proud of you.
Hello, this is my nomination for the Sports Awards evening for the Year 9, the Under-14B rugby team. For a second year in a row, they remain undefeated, and when I say undefeated, that was this year 9 wins out of 9. I know we have a couple of other undefeated teams, but they do have a couple of draws in their record. They scored 415 points and conceded 71 points of the 30 players that played throughout the season. 13 of those were regular attendance, played in 7 or more out of those 9 games, and it's a fantastic achievement given that a lot of players were rotated through the squad, and it all bodes well for the future. And I can see some of these playing actually in the first 15 in 2 or 3 years' time as their development grows. I wish you all the luck, and if you are considering the under-14Bs, please vote for them again because it's fully deserved for the efforts they put into this season. Well done to you all.
I'm a rebel just for kickstart. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still.
Good evening. Some of you may remember me as former teacher Mr. Somerton. It's with great pleasure that I can announce that the Year 10 rugby team have been nominated for this year's Team of the Year award. And as such, I'm just going to quickly go through some of the highlights from their season. Obviously, the main highlight was reaching the quarter-final of the NatWest Vars competition. A really huge achievement and testament to the strength and depth of the squad to get through all of the rounds to get to that stage. Thanks also must go to the parents of the players in the squad for travelling in often pretty inclement weather and many miles to support the team. And also thanks must go to their teachers for allowing them to miss lessons to attend those cup fixtures. Ultimately, and I know the boys were disappointed, but a really competitive quarter-final, lost 20 points to 10. But it was a real good example of how far the squad and the team have come over the last 2 or 3 seasons. My personal highlight, and this might seem a little bit odd that I'm not picking the quarter-final, it might have been because I couldn't get off work to get there, but hey, was the victory against King Edward School, Stratford. Picture the scene. We were drawing 10-all, 5 minutes to go, a kickable penalty in front of the posts, and it looked like the game had been won. Slot the penalty, let's get on the bus. However, I noticed that the penalty wasn't kicked and the tee wasn't even called onto the pitch, despite some of the substitutes insisting that it might be, and that the boys had decided they were going to try and score a decisive try. After 3 attempts, and 3 more penalties, they did score the try that ultimately sealed the game and made it quite a decisive victory. At the time, opposition parents were asking me, why are you not insisting that they take the kick? But over the past 2 seasons that I've had the pleasure of coaching them, my whole aim has been for them to believe in themselves and to trust in themselves and the players around them that if they need to score a try or if they need to play a certain style of rugby, they're able to do it. So this was icing on the cake. This proved that the squad was at a point where they believed in their own abilities and didn't need the input of me as a coach to make decisions on the field that they backed, and ultimately it paid off. I must also mention a little lowlight, and some of you may be aware that I'm rather attached to my beard, or rather it's attached to me. However, I did set a little performance target for the boys, which was if they reached the last 16 of the National Cup, then the beard would come off. And there are video evidence on the Crypt social media accounts that proves that the beard did come off, but obviously it wasn't a particularly great time for me. Anyway, I hope you all have a great evening and best of luck in the awards.
Okay, many thanks to those members of staff for their thoughts about their teams. Again, I cannot thank them all enough for everything they've brought to their team and their team's success. They were a massive part, as well as the students and the team. So I'd now like to hand over live to Miss Leask, who's going to present this award to the captain of the winning team. Well done.
After.
Go.
Oh, hi guys, hi. Thank you, Mr. Borden. We are currently on the next street, ready to present our next award for Team of the Year. A really, really exciting award. Come with me, come on. Let's go, let's go. Very bright garage. Who could live in a house like this?
It's so brilliant, isn't it?
We've been all with the captain of the ladies under 13, sorry, the girls under 13 football team. You are Team of the Year this year, Bea Norwood. How does it feel? She seems a little bit shocked here today. So we're really happy to present this award to the first ever girls team. And who do you have to thank for this award today, Bea?
I don't, you?
Miss Leask, maybe? Yeah, Chris Gooch. Fantastic. And can you describe in your best words how this feels receiving this award?
Great.
Great.
An honour.
An absolute honour. Well, congratulations. You are going to be awarded this on behalf of the team. We're going to have an air high five. Fantastic. And over to you.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Okay, so as we draw towards the end of this evening's ceremony, it's now my opportunity to review the year as a whole. And what better place, as like a year like none other, to start with COVID-19. From the moment that the school was locked, we went into lockdown, and students were then sent home from school, we made a decision as a department to try and take on something new and try and keep students engaged with sport. And what better way to do it, and when I was first contacted by Mr. and Mrs. Brown in regards to Challenge with Ben, the Istanbul Challenge gave us something else. It gave us a reason to engage students, but it also gave us a purpose to try and reflect and represent an old Cryptian who's sadly taken his own life. The Challenge for Ben was something that was an outstanding response from the students. People bought into it, and there was from parents to students to old Cryptians, also to staff. And for us to complete the challenge in just over 2 weeks is a massive reflect of the efforts that everyone made. The challenge itself saw us run from Loughborough to Istanbul and back, and also covering best part, so also raising and contributing to over £10,000 and also raised significant awareness of mental health and young suicide. I cannot thank everyone who got involved with the challenge enough, and the response we're now going to hope to continue, raising money for Pyrus and other charities as well, and also the memory of Ben, is something that will continue to live strong once we're back in school. Alongside the challenge for Ben, we've also seen virtual learning go to a whole other level. We've seen students engage with virtual PE lessons, other challenges, sending in videos of themselves in their back garden, doing simple exercises, and the response to that is something that continues to astound us, and we love to see so many students engage with physical activity. With regards to the PE curriculum, as always, once we were in school, it's continued to evolve. This also saw further development of the gym, and our link with Ed Archer and Athlete Academy continues to flourish. The Sports Academy, overseen by Ed, has gone from strength to strength, and we now have more students than ever before involved in the programme. Speaking with Ed on numerous occasions on Zoom during the lockdown, we've also developed some new ideas, and we're going to continue to develop the Sports Academy next year and try and get even more students involved. The other side of, obviously we've heard tonight, our extracurricular programme. In total, we have played 253 fixtures across 9 different sports and 51 teams, winning 145 games, drawing 16 and only losing 92. As we've already heard the success of rugby, netball and football, we have also seen students represent the school in swimming, handball, cross-country, basketball and table tennis, just to name a few. We cannot thank all the students enough for giving up so much time for each club and practice and fixture. However, this wouldn't also happen without parents. Students would not be able to do so much without the efforts of their parents, whether that is acting as taxi driver, moral support or touchline cheerleader. The support that we have from our parents is exceptional, and you all deserve a virtual round of applause as well. On to the other thank yous. I cannot thank my colleagues in the PE department enough for everything they continue to bring and continue to do for our students. I know I ask an awful lot of them, but it's their own motivation and passion for PE that they do what they do, and it's from their own enthusiasm and work ethic that we have been able to create all the opportunities we do for students. Mr. Hart, in his own way, continues to try and be the funny one, and I know that he is gutted not to have more involvement in the virtual sports awards that you've seen tonight. I cannot fault his energy, and he continues to be such a huge part of everything we are trying to achieve. After a second year with us, Miss Canton is now fully established and continues to drive and push us all to do better. What she has created with Miss Leask in such a short space of time for the girls says it all, and I cannot wait to see where things progress with the Nova Academy and other ideas that she also has. Miss Leask, although it feels like she's been here forever, she only actually joined us in September, and straight away she's now qualified, finished her NQT year, and she's now fully embedded as part of the department, a vital part. She has had an immediate impact, and her success story really is the girls' football, and it is only right that they were crowned as Team of the Year, as you so saw. I'm so glad that Mr. Somerton agreed to do the Year 10 video for us, and I know the boys really appreciate everything that he brought to the department. I was very sad to see him leave at Christmas, but the Year 10 rugby success was hugely reflective of the culture that he had created. And I know although I know he'll be disappointed to miss out on Team of the Year, he leaves a longer lasting legacy than he actually knows. Mr. Windsor joined us in January as his replacement, and it's never an easy task to join a new school and department halfway through the year. However, he has settled down with ease, and I know he'll bring so much more to the department over the coming years. Mr. Atkinson, we are so disappointed for him this year that his apprentice year was cut short due to COVID. Although he was only a Year 13 student himself this time last year, he made the transition into a member of staff seamlessly. However, he has missed out on numerous trips and also the summer term, which has to be the best part of being a PE teacher. He leaves us as a more rounded individual, certainly less lazy, certainly more energetic, and again, he's done amazing things with his running. I know he'll progress onto PE teaching with ease. Mr. Stanlake continues to have bigger, wider responsibilities within the school, but I truly value the part that he plays in the department, and I know I lean on him for his support a lot. And he continues to bring so much along to the department alongside a very hectic work schedule. Also, the wider department, Mr. Cowlan, Mr. Higgs, Mr. Barrett, Mr. Hill, Ed, as I've already mentioned, also contribute so much to PE, and without them and their support, we wouldn't be able to run the programme that we do. Although we're a very tight PE department, it is the contributions of the wider department in games, afternoons, fixtures and alike that allow us to do and offer so much. So that brings an end to our Virtual Sports Awards. We hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have, especially putting all the clips together. The lasting highlight, however, will certainly be the shocked faces of students as you rocked up on their door, unannounced, presenting the awards live. However, this is just still a very small minority of the hundreds of students that we wanted to reach out for. And hopefully via the Virtual Sports Awards, we've been able to celebrate and give everyone a decent pat on the back for everything they've given. So thank you so much for this year, and of course we look forward to seeing you in September, and have a great summer.
Let's go! it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me. Get up, first shot, pimp strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Grown music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT and hustling, chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Now, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week. Raw, time to go off, gone, deuces goodbye. I got a world to see, and my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now, sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
And we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. We go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
It's the absence of something that makes us realise, I think, its value and importance, and the absence of sport, both at school and nationally over the last few months, has made us realise just how important sport is to our lives, both in school and indeed in our wider communities. Sport is so important, it teaches us so many values, it helps us make friendships, develop our skills, allows us to enjoy ourselves. Sometimes, of course, it brings great disappointment, but it helps shape and build our character. And I'm so grateful to the PE and Games staff who, over the course of the last year, have enabled hundreds of students at this school to participate in sport at all levels and in so many different sports, team sports and individual sports alike. So thank you to them for doing that, and also for continuing to encourage our pupils to participate in sport and exercise over the last 3 months when the school has been closed to most of our pupils. It's been absolutely critical to the well-being and mental health of everyone to engage in exercise and physical activity. So thank you to them. Thank you to all of our students who participate in sport and exercise and get involved in the teams and individual sports, of which there are so many within school. You've done wonderfully this year, and you should be immensely proud, particularly, of course, those who've been nominated for the awards that are going to be handed out this evening. Can I finally thank our Crypt families for all their help and support they've given to the PE and Games department this year, for turning out for fixtures and for providing teas and coffees on a Saturday morning, for example. And of course, thank you very much to all our local sports people who've contributed to the nomination process this evening. It's a great honour to have you involved in our sports award evening. So I hope the evening goes well. Congratulations to everyone involved in sport at the school, and particularly congratulations to the winners of the awards this evening. Thank you.
So long, farewell, I'll be just saying good night. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, I'll be just saying adieu.
Adieu, adieu, to you and you and you.
So long, farewell, au revoir, I'll be just saying I'd like to stay and taste my first champagne.